We're back again, folks. It's been a long time since I have my lovely wife, Nicole, here as my guest reviewer. So I've been getting a lot of pop-ups on social media, and you'll see it all over Facebook. You'll get little clips and bits, and it won't even tell you the title of the movie. It'll just be a segment of a movie with no title, and then a million people in the description are like, title, please, what's the title? And no one's saying. So then I will do a screenshot and just plug it into Google Image, and we'll figure that out. So that's how I stumbled upon this particular film.
Oh.
And the only reason I know about this actress is because you love that television program, that one season wonder from the early 90s.
My So-Called Life. It's a great show.
Claire Danes playing a biopic of a real-life woman, Temple Grandin. And I believe you said her first name was Mary.
Yeah, so I saw real quickly on a Wikipedia article that her full name was Mary Temple Grandin. So
this particular film came out in 2010, and it was a made-for-TV movie. It was made for HBO because they felt like it would reach a wider audience. The production company felt like this movie would be very niche, very limited people would see it, so they decided it would have a wider audience. Instead of putting it out in theaters, they made it for HBO. This is an adaptation of Temple Grandin's memoirs, which is called Emergence and Thinking in Pictures. I did not find out the date.
Oh, there were two books, weren't there?
Oh, there's memoirs. Emergence is one, and Thinking in Pictures is the others.
Yeah.
So I didn't write down the date. But the reason we have this movie is the executive producer, a woman by the name of Emily Sains. She had her own experiences with an autistic child, and she wanted to kind of champion the whole movement of autism by putting this prolific autistic woman, Temple Grandin, into the public spotlight to get people to talk about autism. And there's obviously many levels of spectrum. You know, some people are nonverbal. Some people are very high-functioning savant types. You think of a movie like Rain Man, which is purely a work of fiction. You know, he was a baseball facts and numbers guy. Our friend Mark Menzel from the church that I grew up in, you'd tell him your birthday, and he could tell you the exact day of the week you were born on within, like, seconds. So... I
ran into a guy in Costco who did that too recently, and I knew exactly what he was doing because of Mark Menzel.
There you go.
Yeah. Is it okay that I said his last name? I think you said it
I don't think that people are going to Google. And then obviously there's people that we know personally that have autism. There's a whole range of spectrums with autism that we're not going to get into right now, and I won't name any other names, but the first person that came to light is our friend Mark. And I'm sure he won't mind us talking about it.
He's a cool guy.
So, a little bit about the film. It's directed by a guy named Mick Jackson. He's an Englishman, and the Wikipedia article said he is not to be confused with Peter Jackson or Michael Jackson. There is no relation there. So, I'm glad that they let us know that.
Thanks for clearing that up.
He is known for his work with such movies as The Bodyguard and LA Story, which stars Steve Martin, and I own it, and I've never watched it because of
is a good movie.
And I believe Harrison Ford and Whitney Houston are in that movie. So anyway, he's known for those films.
Definitely.
And a 90s action film called Volcano. But anyway, this movie took over 10 years to come to production.
Whoa.
They got the film rights from Grandin in the late 90s, and it went through a whole slew of people that were attached to it. And they finally settled on Claire Danes, and they had the blessing of Temple Grandin. She would actually be on onset of advisors saying that she felt like it was a time machine going back to her youth. It's obviously a period film that starts off in the 50s and works its way up to the early 80s. So it's a sampling of her life from like late adolescence up to her collegiate years. She is a PhD professor, I believe, at the University of Colorado, animal husbandry. She goes from being nonverbal as a child in the 50s when people told her to the parent was told to just institutionalize the daughter, which was more common back then. That's kind of the concept in the movie Rain Man, right? The Tom Cruise character finds out that he has a brother that he didn't know he had. And then he finds him in that home after his parents were passed away. So that was a much more common thing. Her mom was a Harvard graduate. and
Oh yeah, that's right.
it's worked really hard with Temple to get her to communicate and kind of break through and get into education. And the pluses that I read when I was researching it, this movie was praised because they felt like it was a really good representation of getting people to help understand how autistic people process information
Yeah.
and how they are. And, a lot of autistic people that I know do not like to be touched. And
Yeah.
that was kind of one of Temple's things. She made that hugging box where it kind of enclosed her and helped
Right.
her to feel what, I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Well, yeah, the movie really did a good job showing, just showing with light and the imagery
noise.
and noises, just how overstimulating these different senses can be, like how overstimulating bright lights could be, or how noisy something could sound like to somebody who has trouble processing. They don't process these things the same way that your average person does when they're neurodivergent like this. Like
Your brother, for example.
oh, well, I don't know if my brother struggles with that
Well,
quite so much. But what I was gonna say is there's a scene where she's in a kitchen and with, I think it's her aunt, when she goes away to be with her aunt, and she's
the
chopping
aunt
carrots or something.
Catherine O'Hara plays the aunt who plays the mom in the Home Alone movies.
So the sound of whoever it was, I don't know if this was a scene, the sound of whoever it was chopping the carrots, or it's something like this. Like the noise of the noise of the knife on the cutting board. It's like it's not just a normal sound. It was like offensive in a way. Yeah, the noise was louder than normal. Or like the glare of crystals on a chandelier. Like it shows the scene of her mom trying to work with her with these flashcards, and it's like, and she's moving her face, because Temple's looking away at the light is catching these crystals on this chandelier. So she keeps staring at it because, that's what her brain is fixated on. She's focused on, she's probably wondering like, okay, how's the light coming through the window, or why is this happening? And she also memorizes everything that she sees. The film shows how she can remember every single image that she's seen of that particular item.
And she would just look at a book page for like a second. They show this
and
example.
Memorize the whole entire sheet of whatever, the whole entire page. She could glance at it and she had already read it. And not only read it, she had a photographic image in her mind of that she could call up at any time. And she knew the information. She memorized it and she knew it.
And it was in French.
Forever. Any language, didn't matter.
And there was this other pivotal scene where she had developed, her whole academic pursuits was she loved cows. That's
she loved cows.
Basically her whole academic pursuits.
She felt happier being with the cows,
which we find
humans.
We see that a lot with people on the spectrum,
right? But
that we know.
It was sad in this, going back to the scene when her mom kept trying to, not in a mean way, but kept moving her chin like, Temple, look this way, look at this flashcard of whatever it was, like a cat or something. Well, she literally couldn't, because she was fixated on something else, highly fixated on something else that was grabbing her attention. And it wasn't that she was being disrespectful or she wasn't stupid. She was just highly intelligent and a savant, basically. So for her to direct her attention to what she was supposed to be looking at, like, it was extremely hard for her, because all of this other stuff was A, way more interesting, and B, very loud and distracting in her mind. So it really helped me to kind of understand, because one of my kids is obviously, but he's not anywhere near to that extent, but he is extremely smart, but he gets very, very distracted by just pretty much everything. So it's really hard to get him to sit and go like, okay, what's 4 plus 4? Because he's over here like, what's this, he's thinking about the bubonic plague or something, and he's asking questions about that, and it's like, okay, no, look at the paper, focus here. So anyways, it was interesting the way they did it. They really captured what was going on in her mind and what made her so different from everybody else, and how that wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It was just something that you had to figure out how to work with this, because it's not easy.
The hard parts of the movie was the understanding of the people around her at the time. At that point in history, there wasn't nearly as much cases of autism as there is now, and the environment that she chose to work in as her field was mostly cattlemen and ranch hands dealing with cows, and they were not accepting of her coming in and trying to disrupt the apple cart, as it were.
This is after she graduated. Then she went on wanted to work with these men.
Wanted to make the whole experience for cattle going to be slaughtered at the slaughterhouse, which created one of the best phrases I've ever heard. If you're going to die in a slaughterhouse, it might as well be with dignity. And she developed this whole system to process cattle in a humane way, and the pushback that she was getting at the time, but her method was better than what was there at the time. And just kind of her whole journey of trying to hire a draftsman to develop this plan, and the guy's like, oh, it's going to take weeks for me to develop these written plans. And then she's like, well, could I just watch you for a little bit? And she looks over his shoulder and was able to observe him in his craft. And then that's all she needed. She didn't need to go to a draftsman school. She just had to watch this guy for an extended amount of time. And then she was able to exactly replicate professional draftsman drawings by hand,
was amazing,
without having to pay this other guy to do it. So just her adaptability of anything that she put her mind to do was just very inspiring. And I feel like, and this is why this movie received critical acclaim, Claire Danes did win Best Actress Emmy Award. It pretty much won any television Emmy Award that it was nominated for. Pretty much every major Emmy Award for a television production, and it won them all.
I mean, you did forget that it was her. Like, I wouldn't think this was the same
Claire Danes
actress who played, just a teen bopper girl in a TV show
or other
like
movies,
a teen, just a teen drama or whatever. I mean, she didn't. She fully took on the role. Like, it was as good as, like, remember Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump? Like, you literally forgot that it was Tom Hanks. Like, he just did an amazing job portraying this character. And it was really cool that it was a true story, and that she could bring more awareness to autism, and just being accepting of that, an individual who wasn't trying to, these men, like, treated her like she was just in the way or just trying to be annoying or something. And she wasn't. She was genuinely studying these cattle to figure out a better system of moving them along to the slaughter. And she figured out a way that went with their natural tendencies and how they kind of naturally herded themselves with their comrades or whatever. I can't think of the right word. With their friends.
Their herd.
Their herd. There we go.
Quick note: this movie came out in 2010, February of 2010. It was released on HBO. It has an hour and 47-minute runtime. This is a rare 5 out of 5 for both of us.
It was so good. The only thing I was
and it has a 100% Rotten Tomato critic average, which is unheard of.
That's rare.
And the audience score, with 5,000 people reporting in, is 94%, which is pretty high for an audience score.
Oh, wow.
Very high IMDb score too, 8.2 out of 10. So this is.
It's really good.
It's a very recommended Corey and Nicole film. And
it's really good.
A huge shout out to the Stanislaus Public Library System. I was able to watch this for free and rent it for free from our local public library here in Stanislaus County.
And just as how I feel about love and romance. And that was one thing you were saying, she could do anything that she put her mind to. But that was pretty much the only thing that, I'm just saying, the only thing that she couldn't do, though, which she was totally fine with, I think I was more sad about it, though, was that she didn't have the desire to get married or have children, because that just wasn't
any type of human touch
repertoire. Like,
was
she
not
hated
her thing.
To be touched, because the way she explained it later in the movie was that it was just like uncomfortable or almost hurt to be hugged, which is such a foreign concept to most people. But when she was at her aunt's ranch and she saw how they calmed the cattle, how they used this
That
machine to kind of
constrict them.
constrict them and push down and then push on the top. And to some people, it'd be claustrophobic, but
She did a case study on that.
right in college. And when she was having one of her freakouts, when she felt overwhelmed, she got in it, and it was like being hugged, but by like a contraption, not like another human being, which was a big caveat for her, or a big difference.
You have children waiting for you. So,
and there was another sad part in the movie when somebody passed.
Her
I won't
teacher.
give it away.
Oh,
I was
sorry.
gonna give it away.
I believe he was played. He was played by David Strathairn.
Okay.
Which I love him playing Edward R. Murrow in the movie Good Night and Good Luck.
I haven't seen that.
Highly recommend that movie. We'll have to watch it. I have it on DVD.
Okay. Well, he was a very good actor, and it was really sad because he was basically like one of one of two friends that she had.
Oh, this movie is a philosophical movie as well.
Yeah, because at his funeral, she's looking for comfort, and she just asks her mom, like, where do they go?
Yeah.
Like
the afterlife.
Like meaning there was a horse she really loved who died too, and then her teacher passed.
And the cows getting slaughtered.
It's kind of really sad to me that her mom just said
she didn't give her any. She didn't give her any definitives.
She didn't give her any hope of heaven or like any assurance that when they die they go to heaven, or there's an afterlife. She just straight up said, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a good thing to be honest if you don't know and just say straight up, I don't know. But it's kind of sad though from my worldview.
From your Christian perspective.
Depressing.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, but she did learn a very important lesson too. That's the last thing I was saying. She did learn a
We're
very
running
important...
long, folks. We're going into the 20-minute territory. If you're still here, blink twice.
Write a horse emoji in the comments if you made it this far, because she loved horses. You'll see when you watch the movie. So anyways,
and cows.
when her beloved horse passes and she sees the eyes are all glazed over and the horse is dead, her best friend / teacher says, you have a lot of images of this horse in your mind, for better memories than this. He says, don't remember the horse this way. I'm not gonna cry. Remember
Let it out.
Remember him as like the best memories that you remember.
And it shows with her photographic memory, like a Rolodex of photos that she's flipping through in her mind of all the good
every
times.
image of a horse she's ever seen,
ever
especially
seen.
the ones that looked like this particular horse. So she flips through the whole entire index in her mind, which really gives you a good impression of what it's like to have this photographic memory. It's absolutely remarkable. So, but then she calls this memory to mind when he passes, and she's like a lot of autistic people. She kind of marches to her own drum beat. She's ready to leave as soon as she sees him. She takes off her pen and says goodbye to him. She's ready to leave. The service isn't over, but she just says something very poignant.
She has a little brass decorative pin of a cow on her lapel, and she takes it off and leaves it in his casket because people were leaving.
And she tells her mom, I'm ready to leave because guess what? He's not there. I'm done. I'm leaving. He's not there.
Yeah.
And as a Christian, like yes, I believe that.
Physically,
we all know that,
to
right?
Be absent
we all
with the
know
body
that.
is to be present with the Lord.
They're not there anymore. And I believe that too, that our spirit and our personality goes somewhere. And we believe in the hope of heaven, obviously, and being with Jesus when you die, if you love the Lord. And so, yeah, that was cool. I liked that, and that is true. When that type of a person is done, they are done. So and I know that for a fact. So
give me a personal example about that.
I'm not going to go there.
Really?
No, but I'm just saying, having dealt with some of these, types
on the spectrum people.
Yeah. It's like, but she was absolutely right about that. I feel like that's why, applying it a little bit to my life, just real quick, I feel like that's why I personally, it's okay if you want to, but I personally don't feel a need to go to someone's grave and say anything after they're buried. I know they're not there. Like,
This
no
this interview,
point.
this review has gone way off
To
the
me,
rails.
there's no
It's
point.
going into religious
They are
beliefs,
not
philosophy.
there.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching.
It was a great movie.
We'll see you next time.
Watch it.
Temple
Bye.
Grandin, folks. A rare Corey and Nicole.
Thank
5
you
out of
for
5.
letting me go off the rails. All right, bye.